When I went to business school and we had a class in marketing, I did not think that the whole of future would be this. Nowadays, there are teenagers talking about which filter to use, which song to use to get the most followers, to get the most likes. Teenagers 20 years ago were not discussing marketing. I saw a TikTok video that said how to make your TikToks more popular. It had 1 million views. 20 years ago, you could not find 1 million people on planet Earth who would be interested enough in marketing to study it on their free time. So, what's the problem here? That everything is marketing. Marketing is absolutely everywhere. Everyone knows it. What's the problem? The problem is that marketing is an instrumental value. It has no value in and of itself. It only has value in whether it can bring people to something that has absolute value. Now, instrumental value is not a problem in and of itself because there are great instrumental values like money. Money is a good instrumental value. It can get you a lot of things that have absolute value, but you still soon sacrifice some absolute values for money, like love or health. So, nowadays, when we spend so much time on an instrumental value, we get less absolute value. I'll give a couple of examples so it's not just a philosophy lesson. Authors, writers, I've been talking to them and they said that back in the days they could write a lot because they had a literary agent who did the marketing. But now with social media, authors spend a lot of time marketing their own stuff on social media. That's time they're not spent on writing their books. So we get worse books, but we also get worse laws. I know politicians. I've been talking to politicians, and they said before social media, they spent way, way less time on marketing. Now they have to do it all the time if they want to get reelected. It's the only way to get reelected, to do these videos all the time. And they've told me that it's time that they're not reading law proposals, that they're not making laws. So we're getting worse laws. In my profession, like a stand-up comedian, like I used to, back in the days, I would spend this time, the time of this video, just writing jokes, so I have better jokes. So now I have worse jokes because I'm doing these TikTok videos. One example is a friend of mine went to see Russell Peters, world famous Russell Peters, went to see his last tour, and he had half a show. The ticket cost what an entire show would cost, and he did half an hour of good material because he's a good comedian. Russell Peters is a good comedian. But then the later half, he just did lazy crowd work because he's not that good at crowd work. It's not his thing. But he has to do the crowd work. He has to do half an hour. Hey, where are you from? What do you do? So he finds one nugget, just one piece, so he can market his next show. Otherwise, people don't come to his next show. So we just have worse things. Everything is worse now because everyone spends a lot of time in marketing. So they create less absolute value because they just focus on the instrumental value. But maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe it's not so bad. Let's check the news. Mr. Beast is starting his own bank.